Hey gamers, today we're going to look at Chateau Roquefort and its expansion, the Cheesy Gonzola. I'm not making this up, let's check it out. Setup for the game is extremely easy. You're just going to place these tiles over these other tiles already placed on the board and then put up these little castles here. You're going to have one piece left over. These are tiles that you will be pushing on the board. I would lift this up, but it would be a little too much there, but you're going to be placing tiles like this on the bottom and then roof tiles on top of that, but you're going to end with a solid one, and that's what you're going to begin with. Each player is going to start with 4 mice of their color, either yellow, green, blue, or red, and of course they're going to start in each one of these towers, and you can dictate whose tower is whose, doesn't really matter. Now, in this game you have 4 action points, and so you're going to take 4 actions, and then it's going to be the next players and so on and so forth. What are your actions? Well, your actions can be, first off, to move a tile. So you can remove a roof tile and only one that you're touching to. So I could, if I'm red player, I could remove this one or this one. So let's say for one action I do that. Second action I do that. Now I have 2 more actions, so other actions I can do is I can move. Now, moving is one action. Now you can never move catty-cornered. You only move orthogonally, and you cannot move over holes, of course, because if you did, you'd drop into that hole and you would be out. Another thing you can do is you can push a tile, and this is like the children's game Labyrinth. So for an action, I could take this, and where you see any of the little red flags on anywhere around the box, that means you can slide this tile and push everything over. And as you see, it releases another tile for the next player to use. But that is also an action. So those are your actions that you can do in the game. Now, if ever someone, let's say, were to press this, the next player does this action on me, and they start pushing, I think this pushes through. Yeah, there it goes. I push through and I drop through. Your mouse is out of the game. And so then I would have to go and I'd have to get another mouse and replace them here. Now you can always have a mouse replaced here. You can actually have more than one mouse, and you do want more than one mouse out on the board, because as you start removing these tiles, you're going to try to find matches on the board. So let's say I was there and there on that little shish kebab cheese. Well, if so, then at the end of my turn I would claim this, the icon for that type of cheese. And what you're trying to do is trying to collect 4 of these. If you do that, you win the game. Now that's basically the cut and dry version of the game. So let me tell you what you get in the expansion. In the expansion you get a 5th player, which is a gray mouse, which is really nice. It also comes with a little tower that you can connect anywhere over to the side. You don't want to go where there are red flags, because that's where you can push tiles. So anywhere where you can't push tiles, that's where you could set up for that 5th player. It's also going to come with a couple of rings, and I'll explain. There's rings for each player here. They're these little plastic rings, and what you're going to do with these is one of the coolest things in the game. Well, I'll explain that in a minute. I got to get to these extra tiles. There's 3 extra tiles that you're going to put in the game, and what you would do is you take out 3 of the normal stone tiles and replace them with these. What they do, first off, the lever, this lets you, if your mouse lands on this, you get a push action. You can take one of the tiles and do a push action for free for whoever lands on the little lever there, the little switch there. This one here is a secret pantry, a little trap door there, where if you go through there, your mouse can end up anywhere on the board in an uncovered space that is unoccupied. It can't be occupied by another player, and so that way you can get on the cheese a lot faster. And then finally, and this is the coolest one, it's the Cheesy Gonzola, and this is what the expansion is called, the Cheesy Gonzola. You actually place this tile when you set up. You're actually going to place him in the center. So say after we've reviewed all these, and of course this whole thing comes up, and you would place the tiles underneath it. So this tile would actually be placed about right here, and if anyone was to get there, then they would get the Cheesy Gonzola piece, which is this black mouse wearing this great sombrero. I love this piece. I think it's hilarious. And if you do that, and let's say that it was a yellow player that did it, well then yellow player would take their yellow ring and put it on top of his hat, showing that he represents yellow player, and basically he's just like an extra mouse. So if yellow player had cheesy Gonzola here and he was here. Well, those two cheeses match, and because he's working for yellow right now, he gets that cheese tile. So it basically just kind of helps you out. But there's a lot of other cool things you can do with Speedy Gonzola. He can uncover any roof tile even though he's not adjacent to it. So if you wanted to, he can uncover this one here and maybe this one here as an action. He didn't have to be next to those roof tiles to do it. Cheesy Gonzola also can move over holes, because technically if someone were to push one, let's say someone were to push it too, say, I'm going to get you, Cheesy Gonzola. Well, he doesn't, as the ring falls off, but he doesn't fall. His little sombrero saves him, so he never can be eliminated from the game. I think that is awesome. But anyway, that's what he can do. He's a little bit more powerful of a mouse, meaning he can move in different angles, remove tiles from the board anywhere around the board, and help you in getting cheese. And of course, whoever gets 4 of each cheese wins. Now, I will say that the expansion is nice. I'll talk more about it later, but it comes with this nifty, neato organizer here that basically you can put your castle pieces here. The 5th player castle piece fits there. Everything fits nicely in here, something that's not in the base game. But I'll get to that when I do my review. Final thoughts. What do I think about the games? Well, this is kind of silly. This is, of course, the foreign version of it, but it is called Chateau Roquefort, I believe. And I saw this game a year back, and I was like, oh, that looks like a neat little game. And I finally found it. Someone online was selling it for a decent price. I said, yeah, let's go ahead and get it, because it seems like I said, it's a little bit of labyrinth with, meaning by where you're pushing those tiles, trying to get to the items, except you're trying to get to 2 items. This game is a lot harder than you would think, because you don't realize that you're right next to a hole, and the next person, all they have to do is just press one of their tiles and eliminate your mouse. So you need to be careful on how many mice you have out. You don't want more than 2. I found out very early in this game. Now, sadly, the game does have player elimination, as you saw. If you eliminate 3 of the 4 mice, there's no way you can win this game, and that's a little sad. Of course, you can screw it around for all players. So in that case, I've never seen anyone get all 4 cheeses. I've seen people get 1 or 2, and then after that, I think it's whoever has the most mice left standing. But anyway, the game is fun yet simple, and like I said, it's easy to teach and fun to play. This is mainly for kids, I should say. Now, let's talk about the expansion. The expansion is kind of where it may run you a little bit. I think it costs as much as the base game. Is it worth it? I mean, is any of this worth it? I don't know. The pieces are really top notch, so I really enjoy it. I do think the game is overpriced, however. But this expansion is great for a lot of reasons. First off, Cheesy Gonzola, man, that little mouse is hilarious with the sombrero and everything. And that he has some powers. I'll be honest, I'll never play without Cheesy Gonzola. I gotta have Cheesy Gonzola in it. He is great, and he can allow you to get more cheese tokens than you could just because he's not falling through the trap doors. And if so, I noticed that more people with Cheesy Gonzola are less likely to bring multiple mice out on the board. So it leaves a lot of more open spaces when you're playing with it. The 5th player is nice, even though we haven't played 5 players with this yet. The extra tiles, like the extra pushy level and the secret trap door, all of this is designed to help you get the cheeses faster, and so I do like that as well. Oh gosh, anything I don't like? Just the price, I think that's it. But I love the organizer that comes with this game, because in the base game, ooh, it's rough, it's nasty to try to put everything in that box. It's sloppy. And I think they knew that, which is why they made an organizer for this the expansion, because the organizer for the expansion is phenomenal. So much fun. All right, gamers, that's all the time I have for now. Until next time, you know what to do. Game on!